And he got it! Misses it! He missed it!
There it is, second U.S. Open.
Yes! 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 Yes!
A piece of history, young man.
You better believe he did it! For the title! Got it! The 10th. Big strike for 5.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for the final round of qualifying at the 2022 U.S. Open from Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis, Indiana. My name is Aaron Smith, and we are here. After this, all three squads will have 24 games in the books. This 41-foot condition is the last one before we get to the first cut of the event. We're going to go to the top 36 after this. So a lot of numbers, a lot of speculation throughout the course of this round, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We got the best bowlers in the world out here right now doing their thing. We saw some massive scores in the last round. Kyle Sherman going from minus 170 to plus 116, I believe, in just an incredible comeback to put himself in a great position to make the cut and move on to the round of 36 here at the USO, the second major of the 2022 PBA Tour season. But let's get right into it. Let's get to the lanes. And away we go for B squad qualifiers. Here at the 2022 US Open. Going to kick things off with Maria Jose Rodriguez, Ronnie Russell, and Kyle Troop on 31 and 32, along with Chris Prather, Sean Maldonado, and Marshall Kent on 33 and 34. We do have live scoring available. You can find that at bowl.com/US Open, along with the results, roster, schedule, prize fund, oil patterns, and more. Results, everything's there. So this is the place to be, bowltv.com. Check it all out. And with that, I'm going to introduce the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jason Thomas, JT, back in the Bowl TV booth.
Hey, Aaron, this is it. Final chance to get into that cut. We've got, you mentioned some great names, but I mean, here's a stat that people would be shocked to hear. This could be Kyle Troop's first U.S. Open cut. He's never made the cut in this event.
That is incredibly crazy, considering he's the
reigning player of the year.
And he set the all-time earnings record without a cent from the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
in a season, but he is in great position to do so. He's been a steady through the first two rounds, and now is 8 good games away from essentially having that particular moniker removed from his from one of the few things he hasn't done yet. As we get going today, I want to say a big hello, as always, to the Bowl TV community. Big thanks to everyone for joining us here. We are starting a couple hours later than planned, but due to some inclement weather in the Indianapolis area, we started a little bit later today. So making sure player and staff safety is number one, as always. So making sure everyone's safe getting here. A little extra time this morning. So we're going to be going a little bit later, but you're not going to want to miss it because this is going to be just incredible. Big hello as well to all the folks watching on our simulcast, to Flow Bowling. And for game number one, we are joined by folks watching on Facebook, the Sport of Bowling USBC, and the Bowl TV YouTube channel as well. For those of you who want to watch the entire round and every single pair in play, that's right, every single pair available to watch. You're going to have to pick up a subscription to bowltv.com to check out the excitement, the thrilling conclusion to find out who is one step closer to their green jacket destiny.
number of players on the last squad hit him, like you said, Aaron, pretty hard. And the thing that's interesting is there really wasn't a tried and true strategy to get a lot of pins. It just took great bowling, but it's out there. And I think, you have to look at Brad Miller as somebody who could make a run. He watched his buddy Kyle shoot that big block, and he's 20 under starting the block. So you would imagine he would figure out a way to get some score and get himself into that number. Be interesting to see if some of the leaders. I'm really curious to see how Wesley Lowe does. We did have Anthony Nyer shoot a pretty big block here earlier, even though he was kind of out of the tournament, but he shot a nice block to finish his event. And I think, Wesley was probably watching that very closely. But he had the block of the day yesterday on the 37-foot flat throwing plastic. And we'll have to see how he does tonight. Ronnie Russell, hometown guy, starts the block off in 11th place. So he'll have a chance to make a run at the lead if he bowls well tonight. Andrew Anderson was the leader coming into today.
And Andrew's going to need a day to reclaim that top spot because EJ Tackett went 200 over on his way to a plus 438 total, now leading EJ Tackett in second place to absolutely no one's surprise ever. Jason Belmonte, plus 361.
Yeah.
AJ Johnson, plus 351. Tom Doherty, he went 200 over today as well, plus 211 on the day to get to plus 341. Jake Peters, plus 325. Patrick Dombrowski, plus 256. And then we get to Andrew Anderson without bowling the game. He's currently in seventh place at plus 243. So we'll see if Andrew can make the climb up to the top spot and unseat EJ from the top of the leaderboard, but he's going to have a pretty big day to do that. Rounding out the top 10 at the moment heading into the squad, Francois Lavoie plus 232, Matt Kuba plus 216, Wesley Lowe, who's bowling the squad, plus 215, and then Ronnie Russell, as we mentioned, starting off the squad right now in 11th place at plus 204, but he has 8 games to go before it's all said and done. And the cut number, the all-important cut number into tomorrow's next 8-game round, the Cashers round, qualifying round 4. That extra round between qualifying and match play. It's got a lot of names to it. Is plus 30. So we actually have a tie for 35th. Daniel Farish, who is in the books at plus 30. And Chris Prather, who obviously is not done because we're watching the bowl right now. So those are currently the 2 players at plus 30, but players in B squad behind the number, including, we'll start with Prather. Obviously, we said he is the number, but players in B squad behind the number, Brian Halen plus 23, Dan Higgins plus 18, Sean Maldonado, who has the front 5, is at minus 10. Nathan Russo-LaJoy is minus 15, as is Ryan Simenelli, the 2015 champion. Tom Smallwood, minus 26. Brad Miller and Bill O'Neill tied at minus 29. Zeke Bate, minus 39. Maria Jose Rodriguez, minus 54. Charlie Brown Jr., minus 63. Dick Allen, minus 71. Pete Weber, minus 89. Benjamin Sobel, minus 97. Darren Tang, minus 98.
A lot of dangerous names on that list.
It really is. It's and we've seen it proven by 2 players today that the number can get you there. Sean Rash to kick things off today. Is still a pretty crazy stat that Tim Mack dropped. That with 3 games left to go yesterday, Sean was 160 and change out of the cut. And we even talked to Sean, and he's like, "Well, yeah, it was it was looking rough," and then he was able to dig out about 80 over, 90 over the last 3 games on the 37-foot pattern. Then he went to town today.
Yeah.
Getting to 221 over today for plus 155 overall, and then Kyle Sherman at minus 170 went. Is that real? Is that real, Kyle?
Yeah. Well,
Minus 170, and then to come all the way back, nearly go 300 over to get to. Let's get what his plus 113 was his total. He went 283 over for the day.
yeah. I mean, he was ready to pack it in yesterday, and a couple of his buddies were joking around with him after he finished today. But it just goes to show you that these players are so good, and basically, if you give them any bit of daylight, they can take advantage of it and shoot big numbers and get themselves right back into it. So, Kyle showed us that today. Had the big 296 in there, and a lot of other big scores to get himself right back in the tournament. And not only did he put himself in the cut, I mean, he put himself in the top 24. So that's really the second number these guys are looking at is, I'd love to make the top 36, but how close can I get to the top 24 so I don't have to shoot lights out tomorrow just to get there.
It's a brand new ball game once you get into the top 24. Obviously, pinfall still carries over here at the U.S. Open, but adding on top of that the bonus pins. Oh, bonus pins, and oh, Sean Maldonado. He is 7 for 7 now. As Marshall Kent also off to a fantastic start. Business picking up here early for B Squad, but those 30 bonus pins over 24 games can add up very quickly.
Yeah. Well, Marshall Kent and Sean Maldonado both made the show back in 2016. Both lost to the same guy.
Only one of them had 300 shot at him, though.
Yeah. Maybe this is his revenge. He's finally taken 6 years, but he's going to get his revenge and bowl his own 300 in the U.S. Open. Are you gonna say right as he gets up to throw his 12th shot for a piece of history, young man?
I mean, it would be the first 300 in the tournament proper, the 2022 U.S. Open. I would say that, though.
I'll let you do it then. Homage to Marshall Holman.
You better believe he did it.
Well, that'd be my line, right?
You got to hit the 1-2 punch right there. Yes, you gotta get Marshall, gotta get Dave all covered there.
Yep.
And Damon's here. Damon could just start.
Yeah, he can start screaming.
Going crazy again.
It's the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. The 300 game here at the U.S. Open. It's never been done. Oh my God, can you believe what just happened? Francois Leroy won the 300 game. $10,000 bonus. It's the first time it was ever done on the U.S. Open telecast, and it's
I'd be curious how Damon feels about your impression of it. But
well, I was trying to do it a little soft, because I don't want to distract any of the bowlers.
That's a fair point.
But also, it was kind of drowned out because of the way the TV audio works.
Mm-hmm.
You could just kind of hear it droning on in the background. But that's kind of what it sounded like if you're just watching the show.
I guess you could kind of, it was definitely muted when it was happening on the show.
Right.
And unfortunately, while we were.
I mean, I was standing right next to him. It was much louder in person, but
unfortunately, Sean's, we got too excited about it. And now Sean, unfortunately, did not strike in the 8th frame. So, but 270 still out there with a spare. That would give him north of the number, just like that.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that I was thinking he's in. He's gonna shoot a big block tonight. He's gonna figure out a way to whack him. Nork in the chat asking how the bonus pins work, and so once we get down to the final 24, we'll go into round robin match play. Everybody will bowl everybody else in the field one game, and if you win the game, you get 30 pins added to your score. So you can make up a lot of ground in a short amount of time. In fact, the rule of thumb on how much ground you can make up on somebody is the amount of bonus pins that are available. So if you're behind by 240 pins in an 8-game block, that's the amount that you could expect to reasonably make up.
Unless you're Stephanie Zavala.
Yeah, I think that
She's
was
the
the
exception.
big. Was it 338? That
338.
338 she made up on the show in one 8-game block. That's the most I've ever seen. After bowling a 96 her first game of the tournament.
Absolutely nuts. So Sean, we covered the spare 278 still out there. Another player off to a strong start. Bill O'Neill on the outside looking in. He can still shoot 279. He has 7 out of the first 8 on 29 and 30.
Yeah, that was another name I thought he's getting there. He's just too good, and he's just had too much success in this building. He's going to figure out a way to throw a lot of strikes tonight.
Ryan Simenelli, another player in the minus, but I think it was at minus 15. He can shoot 258 with the 9th and 10th frame left to go. Anthony Simonson, a player JT you thought was going to put up a big score today. He's working on a bunch of strikes in a row now through 8 frames, so he can shoot 268. Wesley Lowe, who had the big day yesterday, can still shoot 235. Nathan Rusla-Joy can get to 238. Outside looking in. Charlie Brown Jr., 256.
He's got the Charlie Brown shirt on tonight, too.
Yes, he does.
We about to make a lot of people happy, Aaron?
The folks in the chat we're looking forward to this individual joining us, and he's almost ready to join us. It looks like so.
No, we're not going to give Emil Williams Jr. away. We will have 2 giveaways though later.
This is true. Multiple giveaways. Bowl TV T-shirt, and then a signed bowling pin by the 5 finalists at this year's U.S. Open. So we don't know who they are yet, but we will find that out in a couple of days. And then we will say, hey, you, good job. Please sign this pin for us. And then we'll get that. We'll get a couple of them. I forget the number that we're giving away. It's all said and done.
Oh, no. Rep 2327. He invoked the first Jim Stefanich of the night.
It has happened.
And those of you who are new to Bowl TV, we invoke Jim Stefanich whenever somebody mentions the possibility of a roll-off. And that would be very late.
It would be late, but it would be great.
I think it would be the latest and maybe the greatest roll-off we've ever had. By the way, I'm terrified to go out and see how much snow is covering my car right now.
I did mention to Emil that I had planned to pull a classic Midwest move and go and just do a quick clean off of everything. But I did not, so I'm in the same boat. Perhaps I will sneak away during the block for 15 minutes to clean my car off and start it up and let it warm up, and then come back in and assess the damage.
But we got lucky. We're going to get the whole day in, and We're going to start a little later tomorrow, which doesn't break my heart.
No, that's a good point. Looking toward the rest of the week, if you kind of studied schedule earlier and kind of looking ahead of the times, we just pushed them back an hour the rest of the way for everything except the TV show.
Yeah, and originally there was going to be a practice session for pattern 4 after this round finished. But because of starting it later, that practice session has been moved to tomorrow morning. So the players will still get a chance to bowl on pattern 4. And according to my rudimentary math, as I walked out the door on practice day, only 5 players took advantage of it. So I'm not sure if any of them are making the cut. So pretty much nobody looked at pattern 4 yet.
You know who did? One of the few out here. There's a young man who's making a nice run here at the 2022 event, Kevin Mccune. Saw him throw a couple shots out there.
Yeah, we saw him throw a really incredible shot today. We switched over to his pair, and the first shot he threw was he made the 4-6.
That's pretty tough to do.
And I think we might have posted a video of that on social media. I know I sent a clip to our crack social media team. So if it hasn't been posted already, it will be.
Well, folks, as we get toward the end of game number 1 here, scores starting to roll in.
Ethan asking about the Nintendo Switch giveaway, and you did not miss it, Ethan. That's coming up on the final day of match play. We're going to give it away during the final round of match play, so you haven't missed it. But you're going to want to get your Bowl TV subscription to have a chance to win that grand prize for the week, a new Nintendo Switch.
Giveaway is a great Bowl TV community, and all the U.S. Open you can handle, the qualifying and match play, all available on bowltv.com. Every competition pair available to view, scroll through, follow your favorite athlete throughout their journey at the USO. You can pick up your subscription at bowltv.com. You can pick up an event ticket for $12.95 to watch the live action. You can pick up a monthly recurring subscription for $9.95, which gets you full access to the website, including the live event coverage, a couple of other events in February, and archives, on-demand content, and more. And then an annual recurring subscription, $79.95, the best way to support the PWBA Tour and all the events held yearly on Bowl TV. Not only qualifying and match play here at the U.S. Open, but the USBC Masters as well. Top-tier youth, collegiate, and senior events, and the entire PWBA Tour. It's the place to be, bowltv.com. Some scores here from our opening pair. Ronnie Russell looking to finish up here that big 4. If he gets 2, he'd be at 191. Maria Jose Rodriguez 187. Kyle Trupari in the books at 206. Chris Prather posted 200 even. Sean Maldonado, that opened in the 10th, slowed him down a little bit, but still 246. And then Marshall Kent 233. We mentioned Bill O'Neill. He got to 248. So definitely some decent numbers out there to kick things off. For game 1 for B squad, 245 as well for Charlie Brown Jr. So, folks, in addition to all the great things and great items on bowltv.com, we're also going to be welcoming back Emil Williams Jr. for the rest of the squad as we get into game 2. But as we mentioned, for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, We're going to be here for game number 1. You'll have to head over to bowltv.com to watch the rest of the action and, of course, get down to the final cut number for today. Top 36 here at the 2022 U.S. Open. So we're going to take a quick reset to get ready for that. So, folks, if you're watching on Bowl TV or Flow Bowling, you're all set. We'll be right back for game 2 and the rest of the block here from Woodland Bowl. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we certainly hope to see you on bowltv.com. Be sure to say hello in the chat. But we'll be right back with Emil, and hopefully Emil as well, because I only ate once today. So, so we'll be ready. Game 2 coming up next here on Bowl TV from the U.S. Open.